Hey, what's up guys, this is Norman3000. Today I'm going to show you how I was able to make PiHole work with my UGreen DH4300 Plus NAS and how I was able to make it work on my phones. First off, what is PiHole and why do you need it? PiHole is essentially a network-wide DNS-based ad blocker for all devices on your network. It reduces ads and enhances the privacy across all of your devices. So a few things to note before we get started. I am using Converge as my ISP. The router is connected wired to a TP-Link Deco X50. The TP-Link Deco X50 acts as an access point instead of router mode. So the reason I am using AP mode is because for some reason, when in router mode, the speed seems to be capped. My plan is 300 Mbps, but when TP-Link is in router mode, it's 50 Mbps. I don't know why this is the case. So as we set up PiHole, we learned some different caveats and headaches along the way. The final disclaimer, do this at your own risk. I am not liable for any broken network this tutorial may cause. This is simply the steps that I personally took to make it work for my end. These might not work for you. First, let's go to our UGreen app and let's go to App Center. Let's search for Docker and let's install this one. So now that this is installed, let's go into Docker and on the image, let's search for PiHole. We can download this one. Let's wait for this to finish. And now that it is downloaded, let's create a container. So for the most part, you don't need to change anything here. You can use everything by default, but we need to scroll down and go to network configuration. When I first used host mode, this is not working. What happened was I cannot access the admin page of the PiHole. So I chose Bridge. So after choosing Bridge, we need to take note of the container ports 53 and 80. We can delete this one. If the container port is 53, the NAS port should be 53. If it's not 53, it's not going to work. I don't know why. Maybe it needs more configuration, but I'm not really that much of an expert here, so let's do that. So for the container port, let's do that to leave that there, and we can confirm. So in network, if you chose host, this quick access button will be inaccessible. But since I am on Bridge, this is what it looks like. See there, it's ported like that. So we can click on here and it should route us here. So the issue is it's access denied. The cause is we need to put admin here. So what's the password? So this is the issue. We don't know the password. So to change this, we go to the PiHole here. Let's go to terminal and let's add here. Let's set password like PiHole, set password ABCDE. And now we can access this one. So this is accessed through your NAS IP, then the port that you put. So ABCDE. And now you have a working instance of PiHole. Usually, the only thing you need to do after this is change the DNS on your ISP router, and PiHole will work for all of your devices after you toggle the Wi-Fi on and off. But for this instance, this is not the case, and this is where the frustrations begin. The first cause of headache is the fact that Converge does not let you change the DNS server, and as you can see here, the primary DNS is grayed out. If anyone knows how to enable this, let me know. So the next step would be theoretically use TP-Link Deco X50 in router mode. But as I've mentioned earlier, using an external router like the Deco X50 in router mode seems to cap the speed significantly, so this is not an option. So given these limitations, the only way to enable PiHole is to manually add the DNS to each device here, to your phone, to the PC, to your TV box, and it is honestly as tedious as it sounds. Let's do a quick sample here. One of the most famous sites for ads is flurry.com or wikis. So let's check on this wiki here. So I'm an adult, and as you can see, there's an advertisement here, and it's generally advertisement here. So this is what it looks like. So since we can't change the DNS, we have to manually change the DNS for this laptop. So to do that, let's go into the Wi-Fi settings, and as you can see here, the DNS server is set into automatic. So let's change this one. So put your NAS IP here and the alternative DNS. And let's save that one. Once you do that, if you refresh here, the ad should be gone. But as you can see, there are still ads here. So the cause of that issue is when we go to logs here, we are getting an error here called the DNSMASQ, ignoring query from non-local network, blah, blah, blah. So this is another issue that needs to be solved. To solve this one, let's go back to PiHole. And as you can see, there are still no queries blocked here. So to change that, let's go to settings and the DNS. And we need to toggle from basic to expert. And click on permit all origins. Save this and apply. Oh, before I do this, I want to show you what happens to one site. So flurry.com is one of the most famous sites to use for de facto testing for your PiHole. So now that PiHole is still not working, we can see that Flurry is loading, and you can see the ads here are showing. So once we permit this, let's click on save and apply. And as you can see, now we are getting some queries blocked. So if we refresh Dragon Ball here, so you can see there are still ads here, right? So what we need to do next is to turn the Wi-Fi on and off and restart the browser. So let's go back to Goku Wiki here. I'm an adult, and as you can see, there are no more ads. So if we check on PiHole again, you can see that the queries are getting blocked. And if you go to flurry.com, it should not be able to work, and it should look like this. So now that the desktop is okay, what about mobile devices? You still need to manually change the DNS for all of your devices. For example, for my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, you need to change your IP settings to static and input your NAS IP on DNS1, and on DNS2, use 1.1.1 as fallback. On some devices, this should be enough. After changing DNS, turning Wi-Fi off and on again to browse the site, hopefully there will be no ads. If there are still ads, you need to do the next step, which is turn off private DNS under more connection settings. Most newer Android require this. Turn Wi-Fi off and on again and browse a site, ads should now be gone. If however you are using the Chrome app, there is still a chance that you will see some ads. You have to yet again turn off another setting under privacy and security and turn use secure DNS off. For me, this finally solved my issue, and hopefully it solves yours too. If you are still seeing ads, Try clearing the cache of the Google Chrome app and turn Wi-Fi off and on. If you're still seeing ads, I'm not sure I can help you anymore. Should you be successful in enabling PiHole on this one device, you need to do this again to all of your phones where you want PiHole to work. And this process is extremely tedious. Was all my effort worth it? For me, yes. But this is more of I set a goal and I wanted to make it work, and I made it work. I learned a lot through this ordeal, but for someone who expects a clean and easy setup, all these steps are a pain in the PiHole. Lastly, this approach actually opens up another issue. Since you set your DNS to your NAS IP, if you turn off your PiHole Docker container, you might not be able to browse the internet. This is why you need to add the second DNS address. See, I told you I learned a lot through this ordeal. In any case, the PiHole setup could have been really easy if your ISP will let you change the DNS on their router or if they don't cap speed for external routers. If you know how to change the DNS on Converge's router or know why Converge caps the use of external routers on router mode, and if there's a workaround, do let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Consider like, sharing, and subscribing if you found this useful. This has been Norman3000. See you soon, and block your ads.